Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to see about the inductive and capacitive proximity sensor. Sensors for sensing the position and velocity, force and pressure, acceleration, applications of each sensors in the industrial automation. Inductive and capacitive proximity sensors. So the inductive sensors use change in local magnetic field to detect the presence of metal target. Actually, these inductive proximity sensors, they senses the presence of metal objects, and the capacitive sensors, they sensors change in local capacitance caused by non-metallic objects. So for detecting non-metallic objects, these capacitive sensors are used, and for sensing the metallic objects, these inductive proximity sensors are used. So these sensors are generally short range only. So the sensitivity, the sensing distance will be very less. So these type of sensors are very commonly used in automation, and they are very robust and reliable. So some of the applications are detection of open or close functions. So door opening or closing or any other applications, this inductive or capacitive proximity sensors can be used, and in some case detection of rotation. The rotation also can be detected. On the shaft, you can, if there is a gear teeth on the shaft, or if there is a metal object projecting on the shaft, so using that you can sense the rotation of the shaft, as well as the number of rotations also can be measured. Then the bulk mounted inductive sensors, they detect the presence of object without contact. So this also a non-contact type of sensor. The sensing range is 3 mm. The inductive proximity sensor 3 mm. So the tolerance is plus or minus 10%. So this capacitive sensors, they can detect wood, plastic, and some metals. So their range is 3 mm to 25 mm. So that is the sensing distance. So in flat mounted capacitive sensor, they they are used for sensing glass, and their detection range is 10 mm, very small. Next, let us see the position and velocity sensors. So this position and velocity measurement is often used or required in feedback loops. So for the positioning and velocity control, so we need the position measurement and velocity measurement. For that, for the position measurement, we use potentiometers, LVDT, or encoders. For velocity measurement, we use tacho generator or tachometer. So the potentiometer, there are three types of potentiometers are there. So this potentiometer are used as sensors to sense the position. So three types are there. One is wire wound, then is cermet, plastic film. These are the three types of potentiometers. So in wire wound, this wiper slides along the coil of nickel chromium wires. Okay, so there will be a coil of nickel cadmium wires, and there will be a slider over it. So here the chances of failure is more when comparing to the other types, due to some temperature variations or some other factors. Cermet type of semiconductor, it had a wiper slides on conductive ceramic track. So they have a conductive ceramic track and a wiper which slides over that. So they they are better than the wire wound type of potentiometers. So they are more reliable than the previous one. The next is plastic film type of potentiometer. So here the resolution is very high. The life is also long, and they have the good temperature stability. So the pros and cons of potentiometers are the pros are it require analog signal for control. Then it requires absolute positioning information. Then it is low cost. So it gives analog signal output. And also it gives the absolute position information. So that are the advantage. Also the cost is less. The disadvantages are temperature and where can vary the sensitivity. Okay, so it can affect because of temperature and because of the aging, the sensitivity, the output can be get affected. So it cannot be used in dusty or wet environment. That is also one of the disadvantage. So next is linear variable differential transformer or LVDT. So an LVDT consists of a magnetic core that moves in a cylinder. So the sleeve of the cylinder contains a primary coil that is driven by an oscillating voltage. The sleeve also contains two secondary coils that detects this oscillating voltage with a magnitude equal to displacement. The automatic ruling that can be achieved using two coils makes LVDT very accurate. So the output is very accurate, and it has a magnetic core inside which moves inside the cylinder. On the cylinder it has primary coil and it has a oscillating voltage. So based on the movement of the magnetic core, the output varies. So that is how we measure the displacement. So this LVDT or it gives a very high accuracy output. So the accuracy is high. So the output is linear here, and also it works in harsh environment. Here the analog, it gives an analog position control. So this can be embedded in a cylinder or anything where we can have to measure the displacement. So next is optical encoders. So these optical encoders or digital sensors, they are commonly used to provide position feedback for actuators. So it gives the position feedback for the actuators like motors. So they consist of a glass or plastic disc that rotates between a light source and a pair of photo detectors. So here also a LED source and a photo sensor is there inside, and in the between there will be a encoder disc. So they are plastic or they are made of glass. They will be having the encoding patterns there. So this disc is encoded with alternate light and dark sectors. So pulses are produced as disc rotates. So since there is dark and light spots are there, or some slots, in some cases it may be slots. Because of that, there will be the pulses will be generated when it rotates. So using that we can sense the rotation as well as the rate of rotation. There are two types of optical sensors are there. One is incremental type of optical encoders, and another is absolute encoders. So in incremental encoders, the pulse from LED are counted to provide rotary position. So the two detectors are used to determine direction. So this index pulse used to denote the starting position. So otherwise pulses are not unique. Here we it may have the two detectors. So this detectors is used to sense the direction. So based on the two sensors, there will be two pulses will be generated, and so the depending on the pulses, the difference between the phase of the pulses will be knowing whether it is rotating in a clockwise or anti-clockwise, and also the position can be sensed based on the starting point. So then absolute encoders have a unique code that can be detected from any angular position. So this angular, it gives a very somewhat accurate angular position. So in the previous one, the index or the index pulse need to be noted to know the position. Otherwise, the position reference will be lost. Here, it will have the encoder encoded such a way that it gives every angular position without any indexing. So these encoded one will be a gray code. It will be in the form of a gray code. So these encoders are little complex and expensive than incremental encoders because it needs more detectors. So previously we had only 2 detectors. So here if it is an 8-bit encoder, we need to have 8 detectors. So if the number of bits is going to increase 12-bit or 16-bit or anything like that, then the number of LED detectors will be increasing based on the resolution. So using this optical encoder, we get accurate position of the shafts. So here it has 10,000 line in incremental type and 360 lines in absolute type. So they are used in digital feedback loops. Here it is compact and they are reasonably rugged. So it is here the linear encoder is also available instead of rotating type. The linear rotation type, linear type of encoders were also available in the market. So next is tachometers or tacho generators. So they measure the rotary speed of any machines. So these tachometers are used for measuring the RPM, the rotating speed of any machines. So here the reverse or forward rotations also can be measured. So these tachometers are used to be common to have this attachment to motors to enable direct analog feedback. So some industrial motors, they come with tacho generators. So they now it is a little bit outdated because now you are using incremental encoders in place of tachometers. But in previous type of machines everywhere, these tachometers are very common. Or next is force and pressure sensor. This force and pressures are generally measured indirectly through deflection of an alternate surface. So this force and pressure, they are measured indirectly. Directly we cannot measure. So by use of a diaphragm or any surface, that displacement of that surface can be measured in which we can find out the pressure or the force can be measured. Okay. So this mechanism, they include a physical motion and measurement using sometimes it can be with an use of LVDT. Strain gauges can be used. Here the metal that changes resistance when stressed. And piezoelectric materials can be used for sensing force and pressure. So when pressure is applied on a piezoelectric material, it generates a electric current. So with that, we can measure the amount of pressure or force. So in these ways, we can sense the force or pressure. So this LVDT or strain gauge or piezo materials are used for sensing this force. So the examples are LVDT load cells. So there are load cells which has LVDT for measuring the mass. Then strain gauge bridges. So these are very common in weighing machines. And piezo load cells. So piezo type of load cells are also available. So the pressure can be measured by pitot tube and deformation of fixed membrane. So because of the pressure, the membrane, if a membrane is placed inside, it will deflect, or a small deformation will occur. So by using that, we measure the pressure. Deformation measuring using same method as for force. So the same way as we use to measure the force, the pressure also can be used. The pressure also can be measured by using the same method. By using piezo material or strain gauges, or by means of a spring manometer. So next is accelerometers. So the acceleration can be measured by using this accelerometer. So they are triaxial accelerometers which are used in mobile systems. So they are also used in high performance cars, inside rotating elements of turbines, in aircraft elements, etc. They also provide vibration informations. So this gives short-term position information also. Next is gyroscopes. Gyroscope senses change in orientation of a device across 3 axes: pitch, roll and yaw. Gyroscope determine angular velocity, typically measured in radians per second. A gyroscope enables tracking of the twists, turns and rolls of an object in. I hope that you have understood about the industrial sensors, the different types of sensors and their applications. Thank you.